Now, the prevailing drought has left in its wake a devastating loss in several parts of the country. In Marsabit County, some residents have been forced to restrain their livestock because some of them are too weak to venture out in search for pasture. In the second part of the Bane of Drought, KBC's Kabasa highlights the plight of residents of Ambalo and Adhadhi, who have been rendered incapable of sustaining themselves by the prolonged dry spell.
Gubal Halake sits and waits patiently as her 10-liter jerrycan is filled up with water. Back in the day, she would have carried more, but age is gradually catching up with a 70-year-old grandmother. She and her neighbors got together and bought some water that will keep them going for a couple of days. It is, however, only accessible to residents of Adhadhi village because here, water is very precious and scarce. Back in the village, Malicha Guyo and his wife Galma walked me to where the carcasses of some of their livestock were recently disposed of. I had over 200 herds of cattle before the drought, but have since lost almost all of them. Guyo tells me. He says the drought has left them at the mercy of salaried neighbors and non-government organizations that have been kind enough to donate food, water and animal feed.
Tena ikienda hivi hali ya watu ni hatari. Hakuna namna nyingine, hakuna mvua. Hata mbuzi lazima itaenda sio kama ng'ombe tu.
There are few of such water pans spread out in this region. They were constructed to quench the thirst of livestock. But the drought has been so harsh that some of the animals are too weak to make it here. The prolonged drought has had a devastating effect and continues to squeeze the life out of the few remaining livestock. Alima Sora tells me it is tough being a woman in this part of the world.
Tunataka kuoga kama wanawake wengine, tunataka kufua kama wanawake wengine, lakini hatuna, tunakuwa tuna patience, tunakaa.
The only available source of water is 15 kilometers away, but that too is too salty to drink. This plant was installed by the county government. It was meant to purify the water, but residents say the project has stalled.
Tunaomba county hata watu wa project zozote atusaidie na hiyo njia mbili. Chakula ya wanadamu na maji ya kukunywa wanadamu na wanyama, chakula hiyo ya wanyama.
That is the art.
The prevailing drought has hugely stacked the odds against learners here.
And many learners have opted to move with their parents due to the lack of food, and all these are hampering teaching and learning in this school.
My name is Guyo. I am a class 7. Kama kikubwa kubwa tafanya kazi ya daktari.
Those brave enough to stay behind have had to contend with the harsh reality and hope that more help will soon arrive. Despite Kenya contributing less than 0.1% of the global carbon emissions, it still remains vulnerable to the climate crisis.
Maji yamevutwa kuvutwa, hata tangi yamewekwa hapa katikati mara mbili. Maji kufika hapa. Sasa hiyo pipe zote ile shavo, katapila ndio inatengeza barabara. Amengoa zote iko nje.
The World Vision says in Sololo sub-county alone, over 5,000 households have been rendered helpless by the drought.
Cases of malnutrition is rising. We have seen some places it has reached 50%. 50% of the children are malnourished. And if thorough and enough intervention is not going to be done, the situation will only worsen.
Dido says that long-term measures are desperately needed to help residents here become food sufficient. But as the wait for sustainable solutions continues, locals have nothing to do but to hope that it will rain soon. For Sunday Express, I am Edward Kabasa.